Alabama House District 33 Representative Ben Robbins believes in the vital foundation that a quality education brings to our students. Ben Robbins, proud sponsor of our Star Student of the Month.
This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month.
Hey, we say good morning to Paxton Walker, a senior at Lincoln High School. Paxton, good morning. Good to see you again, sir.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be back. I'm happy to be here.
All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Senior year at Lincoln. Who's your family?
My family, got to start off with my mom. My mom, Andrea Walker, she's great. Move on to my dad, TJ Wilson. They're my biggest fans. They kind of keep me going. In my high school tenure, they've kept me on the right track, keep me involved, keep me going, even when there's struggles in a lot of the science classes, to be completely honest. Science has been one of the toughest subjects, but we're getting through it. I've got my stepmom, Ivy Wilson. She's great, love her. She's been pushing me to keep growing and keep moving. And then I've got family in North Alabama up in Limestone County that I keep in contact with, but being 2 hours away, it's a little more difficult, but that's about it.
Hey, you're just a couple of months away from graduation. I guess you're pumped about that, huh?
I am, but it's also kind of nerve-wracking because then I have to start over from the very beginning, start as a freshman. I'm looking to hopefully start as a sophomore in college because I've taken plenty of dual enrollment courses and AP courses and earned those credits to kind of move forward a little quicker. But if I still start as a freshman, it's wonderful to do it.
Let's talk about your senior year at Lincoln. What's going on this year for you?
So this year, at least 2 years ago when I was here, I was talking about joining FBLA and becoming a big part of it. Since then, FBLA's grown. We've actually become a bigger chapter. We faced some adversity at times, but other than that, we've continued to go to our state competitions. We've continued to win, continue to flourish. Fundraising has been a lot of fun. And SGA, I've been trying to stay as involved as possible with student government because I'm a political kind of guy. I love that world. And being involved in those organizations has been a lot of fun.
You, of course, being a senior, 18 years old, and you've been at Lincoln throughout your most of your school life. So what is it like being at Lincoln High School? Tell me some stuff about that.
Being at Lincoln has probably been one of the best parts of my life. I can say that admittedly, that if I didn't move to Lincoln and I didn't experience Lincoln schools and Lincoln community, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I can say that with 100% confidence. The community is amazing, very welcoming, open arms, someone that knew absolutely no one. I know almost everyone in Lincoln now. I love that community, and I just love to be a part of the Lincoln community.
How did you become politically oriented?
So back in 2016, when all the controversy of that election was kind of growing, I would talk to my grandmother about it because she would always be watching the news on it, seeing what she thought. And I really, at the time, had no clue about much of anything political in general. But as time moved on, I kind of learned, and I researched more and more and more. And so now that's my favorite speck of the world, is the political side of everything. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah. So what's some of the studies you're taking this year as a senior at school?
So right now I'm in just 3 courses. I know that sounds crazy, but they're all very important courses. I have a dual enrollment English course, English Literature, American Lit, with Miss Russell. She's fantastic. I've got my AP Calculus course, AP Physics, and then I'm also taking a dual enrollment education course because I do want to be a teacher. I do want to get back to Lincoln, into Tallahassee County.
Yeah, you kind of changed from your original plan for your future, right?
Yeah, so 2 years ago I would have said I want to be a lawyer, and I would have stayed with that, and no one would have changed my mind, but even I can change my mind. I want to be a teacher. I want to get back into that spec.
Why a teacher?
It's really hard to explain, but the best way to explain it for me is to say I love history as a topic. I want to talk about it all the time, so why not find the way to do that, which is being a teacher.
Yeah. Wow, fantastic. We're talking with Paxton Walker. He's a senior at Lincoln High School. And your plans are what? To move on to Jack State?
Yes, sir. I do plan to go to college at Jack State, but thankfully I think I live within the realm where I can stay in Lincoln, stay with my community, and still drive to Jacksonville, which I've learned is the more economic way to actually go about going to Jacksonville, because living in Jacksonville can become a bit expensive, especially at this point where it's becoming a little late to find, apartment and housing. So I'm really glad to have that opportunity to stay in Lincoln, but also take college courses at Jacksonville.
Absolutely. Now, you're involved in a lot. You talked about the FBLA, but you're involved in a lot of different things at Lincoln High School. Talk about some of those.
So obviously, besides the FBLA, we've got our SGA, our student government. We're pretty keen on making sure SGA grows. I have a big plan for SGA if I ever come back to be a teacher. So like I said, I love government. We've got plenty of CTE organizations that we partner with as FBLA. But FBLA has pretty much been I won't say my life at Lincoln High School, but that's what I'm most known for, is kind of leading FBLA and wanting to keep FBLA on the right track. And that's been my high school tenure for CTE, because CTE has been one of the most impactful parts of my life.
Do you try to encourage other kids to get involved in the political arena?
Oh, absolutely. It's not only it's fun for me, but it's also important to be knowledgeable on all those topics and knowledgeable about who's in that realm, what are they saying, who's saying what's right and who's saying what's wrong. And for me, it's important to know all of that. Who's saying what's going on, who's trying to push these laws, who's pushing this, what can affect me as a human being and affect me in my Lincoln community, what can affect me in Talladega County, what can affect my state, my country, vice versa.
Yeah, you kind of, want to know for yourself.
Yeah.
So we applaud you for that. Paxton Walker, senior at Lincoln High School, our star student of the month. Who's some of your friends at school?
So right now, I'll kind of go down the list. We've got Cameron Aldridge. She's been my right-hand woman in FBLA. We've tried to tackle a lot of our obstacles, keep pushing, make sure that we're getting stuff through the gates, through admin, make sure everything's done correctly. You've got Seth Walker, not related to me, unfortunately, even though we have the same last name, but you could call us brothers. There's Edward Ponder. He's our tech guy. If you need anything involved with technology, ask him. He knows everything under the sun about technology. Nolan Seville, one of my best friends of all time, really good, amazing dude. We go to church together. We spend a lot of time, worshiping with each other on Sundays.
Go to church?
So right now I go to a church in Pell City. It's called Petros. It's a men's senior kind of group that we get together on Sunday afternoons, and we kind of learn about the out of high school, becoming a man.
Yeah.
What's that life going to be like? And that's really where I've been at.
You touched on technology, and wow, how technology is changing just in your young manhood.
I know, yeah. AI has become almost integral, and I don't prefer to use AI because I don't really know how to use AI correctly. I have my friends that are, they love to use AI. They use it all the time. They know how to make it do what they need it to do. But for me, AI, while it can be integral, I do have my worries about it. It seems to be obviously detectable if you write an essay with AI. Clearly, it's easy to detect if it's human or not. But then there are some AIs that you can say, make this essay more human-like, and then that detectability goes away. So it becomes a who's who kind of situation. If I put in an application to a job with my entire correct essay and then an AI resume, am I going to get chosen over this take 5 seconds to write essay by a computer?
Yeah. Your education, you talked about your early struggles with science, I think it was. How has your education evolved to where it's uttermost important to you?
My education has always been my number one thing, because for all that I can remember, my family has pushed us and I've pushed this on myself, that my education is going to get me somewhere as long as I make sure it does. So if I continue to do more and fight through the struggles and get through everything, it will be worth it. And it has been worth it. For my 4 years of high school, every single struggle, hardship, everything, it's been worth it.
Wow. Paxton, thanks for coming this morning.
Of course,
Appreciate
thank you for having me.
And continued success in the future. Paxton Walker, senior at Lincoln High School. Paxton's our star student of the month.